Live from Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria, it's time for Bradley basketball. And tonight, the 2015-2016 regular season slate gets underway as the Braves welcome in the Ball State Cardinals. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast alongside Chris Griffin. I'm Brian Vito, and Chris, so many fresh faces here at Bradley, from the administration to the coaching staff to the personnel on the floor. But tonight we get our first regular season look at a new era of Bradley basketball.
And head coach Brian Wardle went out and got 11 newcomers to bring on this Bradley Braves men basketball team. 5 different countries represented. He went worldwide, and it's going to be exciting to see how these new, young, fresh faces take on a slightly more experienced Ball State team.
Bradley hasn't faced Ball State since the 1982-83 season. We'll have starting lineups, key players, and keys to the game coming up next. Welcome back to Carver Arena as we get ready to begin the 112th season of Bradley basketball. Brian Vito with Chris Griffin. And Chris, you look at these two teams, these two programs, and they're really at different stages.
A little bit of role reversal, because last season Ball State was one of the 25 youngest teams in the country, and now they have a little bit more experience on their team. But Bradley, if they're not the youngest, I don't know a younger team out there in college basketball, but it's going to be interesting to see how the experience versus the inexperience plans out.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Ball State. Niall Smith and Franco House in the backcourt. Jeremiah Davis, Sean Sellers in the front court. Trey Moses, the freshman center, the headliner. And here's a look at Bradley. Dante Thomas, one of those two returners. Joel Okafor, Luke Von Bray, Dwayne Lautier Ogunleye, and Callum Barker. So 5 different starters, all from 5 different countries, as we get a look at our keys to the game.
Keys to the game for the Cardinals: they want to get to the line. They shoot a lot of three-point shots. They're going to crash the offensive glass, and they're not going to be shy from 3. You got to look for the 3 ball and crashing the boards.
And Bradley, on the other hand,
recognize those shooters, got to find those 3-point shooters, cut off the dribble penetration, avoid those kickouts, and they've got to start fast. A brand new season, got to start fast.
Bradley and Ball State, we mentioned, haven't faced off since the 1982-83 season. They split the only 2 contests all time between these two programs. Ball State won in 82, Bradley won in 81. The third ever matchup between Bradley and Ball State is underway as the Cardinals control the opening tip.
Bradley looks like they're in a man defense here to start.
They'll swing it left side for Sellers. Down low to House. Short corner left, draws the double team. Nice crossover dribble by Smith. Good help side by the Braves. And they're looking to post up down low for Moses. Squares up, draws the double team, kicks it out, wide open 3, and that's off the back of the iron. And an offensive rebound, but a travel first.
You see what the Cardinals are trying to do there. They're going to work the ball inside. They're looking for those 3-point shooters. Great hustle on Bradley's part, and they get the ball.
And you take a look at our key players. We've already talked about Sean Sellers in this one.
He's the MAC Freshman of the Year, returning 6'6" forward. And Joel Okafor, he's got to run it all from the point. He's got to be running all over the place. Got to watch the foul trouble, though.
Thomas kicks it out. Open 3 is good. And a good start for the Braves offensively as Lautier Ogunleye knocks one down.
You talk about starting fast. That's exactly what you want. 3 points just like that for Bradley.
So Bradley really struggled from the three-point line last year, just 27%, but an entirely new group, so you could almost throw that stat out the window.
Throw that stat out. We've got brand new shooters everywhere. Okafor picking up that foul. He's got to be careful with those reach-ins.
They square it up on the set, popping out to receive the pass is Davis. They swing it left side. Now Sellers operating on the perimeter. And that's a moving screen, I think it is. It's going to be on Moses.
Moses, a young player, still inexperienced, just like a lot of these Bradley players. Just a little bit of movement there. He's got to set those feet.
Moses, one of the top recruits in the entire state of Kentucky heading into this year. 6'9" freshman out of Louisville. Driving right side is Thomas. Threw it away.
Should have shot it there. He had the open shot.
Smith will slow things down. Gets the ball screen. Instead, they'll swing it right side. Now down low to House.
Mismatch down low there on Okafor.
Good recognition by the Braves on the double team. Better passing into Moses. Right hand, no good.
Great.
Even though the Braves gave it up early, they did a good job closing in late.
Dante Thomas waiting to recover on the closing in, cutting off those lanes. What we talk about, Moses couldn't get a shot off.
And as Okafor was jetting to the basket, he was bumped on his way in. So second foul already on Ball State, and the Braves will have it out of bounds.
You see the movement on offense. Bradley moving all their players, shifting around. Okafor all over the place right now, trying to look for those open looks.
They'll box it up for Okafor to inbound. On the secondary outlet, Laudie Ogunleye stutter step dribble, and he's bumped on his way in. That's 2 on Moses.
2 early fouls, but Laudie Ogunleye maybe taking a note there from Thomas. He actually put the shot up that time, didn't kick it out, and drew the good foul.
So that'll bring in Bo Calhoun, 6'6" senior out of South Bend. As it's a good start for the Braves, up 3-0. You have the big man on the bench now with 2 fouls.
You start fast, that's what you wanted, and now a smaller lineup for Ball State.
Double team kicked out. That's going to be an open 3 for Von Bray. Not this time.
Get the open look, that's all you can ask for. You just got to knock that shot down.
The high ball screen once again. Smith on the screen and roll. Good recovery by the Braves. House step back jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, Calhoun. And he's fouled before the shot on the rebound, I believe.
Just a little confusion from Von Bray that time. He wasn't sure if he wanted to go out on the guy with the ball or if he wanted to move back inside. He chose to go back inside and picked up a foul.
And we talked about that being the key area. Bradley's got to keep Ball State off the offensive glass.
Got to keep them off the offensive glass. Don't give the second chance points. You know they're looking for the 3. So if they crash the boards, if they win that battle, they're going to be very tough to beat.
Nael Smith, hesitation, dribble, kicks it out right. Fake crossover, now spinning in as Davis goes up. No good, and another foul on the Braves.
Might be on Okafor.
Yep.
Just a tough foul there. Okafor pushing in the back. That gives him 2 early ones. Very tough when you get those 2 early fouls, and now Pittman comes in.
Yeah, so Pittman will check in, as well as Ronnie Suggs, as Thomas and Okafor will now head to the bench with 2 fouls. Good inbound, good position by House, and he's fouled on his way up. Franco House, not the biggest guy on the floor at 6'6", playing the power forward, but he's got some build to him.
He's got the build, he's got those broad shoulders, he's kind of beating him up inside. He's testing to see how Barker and Von Bray can handle that physicality down low, and it gets him to the line that time, and this is where Ball State likes to be. They like to be at the free throw line.
House 71% from the line last year. It didn't look like it there.
Just can't miss those opportunities. That's what you want, and then you miss a free throw.
So Thomas was out for about 2 seconds, and he'll come back in for Von Bray. House played in all 30 games last year for a Ball State team that went 7-23, started 29 of those.
0 for 2 from the line right there. Not what they wanted to see. They got the look, but you got to knock those free throws down.
And a pass intended for Barker, who actually set the screen to try to free up Pittman cutting low, but he couldn't hang on to it.
Tough pass, just a little high. One of those turnovers. You don't want turnovers, but that's something you can get over. You can do it better next time.
Mentioned Ball State 7-23 last year, just 2-16 in the MAC. They're predicted to finish 6th and last in the MAC's West Division this season, but they should be much more improved than they have been the subsequent 2 seasons, the previous 2 seasons.
And they've got some good young pieces. Sean Sellers, you can see him there. He's looking for the 3. MAC freshman of the year. Tough foul that time. Count the basket for Ball State's first 2 points.
And Niall Smith somehow able to get that to go, and now the Carver crowd will go to their feet. On their feet for about 3 minutes, so not bad. 2 minutes, 58 seconds.
They'd want to stand up the whole game if they could.
So Smith, a junior, but a JUCO transfer from San Jacinto College, and the Cardinals 0 of 3 from the foul line, but they'll get new life, at least temporarily, and they'll turn it over.
Well, you can look at the scouting report and see that they knocked down the free throws, but just like that, 0 for 3 from the line, and that puts them down by 1.
So here comes Devontae Cooper in for Dante Thomas. Cooper, the 6'10 freshman out of Atlanta, got a lot of raw athleticism.
Got a ton of size. Look at him setting that high screen, trying to open it up for Ladia Ogunleye.
Comes off the stagger double. They swing it right side. Good deflection by Smith, but gathered back in by Pittman, and he's bumped on his way in. So referee's calling it pretty tight early on.
Very tight. You know, it's the first game of the season for them as well, so they want to get everything, you know, organized. They want to make sure that there's not too much reaching and grabbing, and Bradley picks up the foul.
See if they set it up here.
It will be interesting to see, Brian, though, how Bradley adjusts offensively. Now with Okafor with those 2 fouls on the bench, who's going to kind of take control now from the point?
Ladia Ogunleye gets the high ball screen from Barker. Instead, it's out to Cooper, looking for Barker down. We're looking for a better angle for it. Still can't find him. Good defense by the Cardinals on this trip.
Cooper and Barker, just a little confusion there. He's playing above the three-point line, trying to work down low. Here comes another high screen.
Goes opposite the screen, does Ladia Ogunleye, and I believe that's, well, they're going to say it's a block. Braves will take it.
Could have gone either way.
Yep.
A few oohs and ahs out there. Ladia Ogunleye showing that aggression. We've seen that about 2 or 3 times now where he goes right to the basket. He's being aggressive, and you pick up the foul and you go to the line.
Yeah, very early, but you got to, like you said, very aggressive. Doesn't look like it's his first college game at all, does it?
And with some of these international players, you do have to remember they're a little more seasoned than some of the players.
Played some bigger games.
Exactly.
Ladia Ogunleye out of London, played at London's Bristol Academy, averaged 8 points there last year.
Because even though he's a freshman, playing overseas, playing in Europe, and seeing different looks, maybe against some professional type players, really gives you an advantage at the collegiate level.
And he splits a pair.
Ball State now needs to find a bit of rhythm. They need to find some rhythm on offense. They're kind of just trying to get to the line. They don't really have a rhythm yet. Got to look for those outside shooters, and still haven't seen anything from Sellers yet.
They averaged 65 points a game a year ago, and again are returning a lot from that squad. And a bump in is Davis. That's going to be on the floor. That's already the 6th team foul on Bradley. Yep. And that'll bring us to our first officials timeout. 15:59 remaining here in the first half. Bradley out to a 4-2 lead. Bradley with an early 2-point lead over Ball State, 15:59 remaining here in the first half. Brian Vito with Chris Griffin. And Chris, early on, A lot of fouls, a lot of defense, and turnovers as well.
It's the first game of the season. You would expect that. You'd expect the referees to call it tight. I think both teams in the huddle right now saying these referees are calling it tight. Just back off a little bit. We want to be aggressive defensively, but just back off a little bit and play smart. And you can't turn the ball over. Ball security is so important. And it's a 4-2 game very early.
A couple of big fouls on both Trey Moses and Niall Smith for Ball State. And then we talked about Okafor with 2, and then Luke Von Bray also out with 2. So the bench, we thought, is going to play a big role for both these teams all season, and it already starts here tonight.
You're going to find out your depth very quickly in this game. Okafor and Von Bray just tough. When you get those too early fouls, you got to sit for a little bit. It'll be interesting to see when Coach Wardle says, let's bring them back in.
So off the timeout, let's see what the Cardinals run. They get it in the corner to Sellers. Now back up top for Davis. Jeremy Tyler checking into the ball game for the Cardinals for the first time.
They're bringing the ball further up. They're trying to isolate Sellers over there in the corner.
They find him up top, and he pump fakes, goes up anyway as the Braves force a very tough shot and get the board.
You see with Ball State, they're trying to get the ball to Sellers. They work that whole offensive set just for him, trying to find those open looks.
They go left side. Now up top. Pittman gets the ball screen. Wadier Ogunleye looking for the skip pass back and set back up top for Suggs. Barker fakes a 3. And the Braves don't have much going on this trip. 3 to shoot. Driving in and having to force one up is Suggs. Almost got it to go, but instead hauled in by Davis.
Ball State, more of a soft man there, more of a zone. And now here they go. They want to push it up.
And a foul, and that's going to be a 2-shot foul. Anyways, that's a 17 foul on the Braves.
And you see what Ball State wants to do there. They get on the glass, they get the rebound, they push the ball. Davis wants to move that ball right up court, and he picks up the foul.
Yeah, really not allowing Bradley to set up any sort of defense. And Davis will go to the line with that big frame. Fifth-year senior gets the first to go.
And Bradley at the offensive end, they've got to hit the outside shot. Once they give you those opportunities, they kind of backed off defensively. They're kind of challenging you. They want to see what you got from the outside. If you knock down a few of those, then they got to start stepping out more.
Davis, a transfer from Cincinnati. Last year was his first year at Ball State, and they get another offensive rebound after a missed free throw.
Can't allow those offensive rebounds. Got to be a little tougher inside. Can't give them these second chances.
Ronnie Suggs playing Davis with that great length. Top of the key, now they give to House. Hand off to Sellers, spins toward the middle, goes up at the right, and gets the friendly roll.
And there you see Sellers, what he can do to you offensively. Pittman trying very hard, very good defensively, just a little bit undersized in that matchup. It's a tough matchup for Pittman.
Good crossover dribble by Kadarrell Bell, a familiar face here in Peoria. Checks in for the game for the first time. This is his first attempt.
And Kadarrell Bell brings that leadership. He's going to bring a little more leadership. He's got a little more experience. He's been in these games, so it'll be good to see, you know, a senior out there working with these young freshmen.
And a foul away from the ball. That's going to put the Cardinals at the line. It's going to be on Suggs. Crowd doesn't like it.
And a familiar face now coming in.
Another one. As Nate Wells checks in for Ball State, always is a fan favorite here in Peoria in his time at Bradley. Graduate senior from Davenport, Iowa.
And a nice round of applause from the crowd. That was very
absolutely.
nice to see.
So Sellers to the line for one of the bonus. 81% last year, and of course he misses the front end.
Might be just the early season jitters. You don't know. They're a great free throw shooting team. Pittman.
Coast to coast and one.
And Pittman provides a spark. He gets the rebound, he pushes it up floor, doesn't wait for those bigs to get back, and just like that, possible three-point play.
Yeah, and you get another look, Chris, and that really almost could be a 5-point swing. You think Sellers at the line, a guy that can make a pair, but he misses the front end, and then Pittman, you see, jets down the floor, doesn't give the defense a chance to set up, much like we saw from Jeremiah Davis on the other end, and he converts in the old-fashioned three-point play. Let's see if he can cap it off here. And Pittman, another freshman. I can say freshman, got about a 90% chance of getting it right.
You do. A little more pressure now. Bradley's going to play man full court.
Kadero Bell, who's always been a very good defensive player in his time here in Peoria, is on the bigger Jeremiah Davis. Popping out to receive the pass is Jeremy Tyler, who can score in bunches. So the Braves got to be wary of him every trip down. That's going to be an offensive foul on Nate Wells.
It's a good switch off there. Cooper took the ball handler. Ogunleye went out on the screen, drew the foul.
So Wells whistled for the foul. That's the 7th on the Cardinals. So the Braves will be shooting the rest of the way as well.
Got to feel good about Bradley. I think the fast start, 7-5, you got to feel good early on where you're at.
Kadero Bell, crossover, gives it up top. Now for Cooper, looking to post up down low on the short corner. Backing, kicking it back out. Cooper's jumper is no good.
Just a little long. Thomas is looking for that turnaround left hand. You'll see it later in the game. He's looking for that little turnaround left hand jumper that he can definitely knock down.
Davis drives in again, and good help by the Braves. Blocked away, but Calhoun's there to clean it up.
Cooper, great defensively, did all he could do. Just a lucky bounce sometimes. Calhoun gets it, and we're all tied up now.
7-7, 7 minutes in. As they go free throw line extended on the right for Pittman, who skips it back to Cooper. Braves operating with 5 wide on this trip.
Ladier Ogunleye is very active right now offensively. He's swinging on both sides.
And a steal for Kiapwe, who just checked in as well for Ball State. High post for Wells. Coming off the screen to receive the pass is Tyler. Kicks it out. Good job of closing down the driving lanes by the Braves as Calhoun loses it out of bounds.
There you go. You cut down those lanes. You play good man defense. Don't commit the foul. Cooper, very good shift for Cooper. I think he played very well early on. Looks a little gassed, but again, it's still early, and he's going to be okay.
Scotty James will check in. Big surprise, another freshman for the Braves.
You said 95%. Yeah. You're going to be correct.
Not right about 95% of anything else.
Scotty James is a nice player. He's got some good length, and he will go and dunk it on you.
We saw that in the pregame warm-ups a little bit.
I think we saw it from everybody
Everyone.
in the pregame.
I think you were out there jumping the foul line. Looked like Jordan in the 88 dunk contest.
Now we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Double team down low is Barker, and he's bumped on his way in. So Callum Barker out of Hobart, Tasmania will head to the strike.
I love Tasmania. Have you been there?
No.
I have once. It's fantastic. I love Tasmania. But Callum Barker, another exciting freshman. You know, he's got the height. He's a grinder. He'll beat you up inside, but he can also step out and shoot the outside shot. And he's actually pretty good from the free throw line. I hope I didn't just jinx him.
Let's see here. Oh, there you go.
Making me look good, Barker. There we go.
He did come and play prep hoops at Notre Dame Prep in Fitchburg, Mass last year, so he's somewhat acclimated to the United States and really capped off Bradley's recruiting season with this group. And he makes good on a pair. Nice work, Chris.
There we go.
Davis will walk it up. Back to the basket. Braves don't mind if they operate from out there. What a great job by Pittman as Tyler scores. Anyway, I was going to say shadowing him, but Tyler's a scorer. We can see what he does right there.
You're right. Great defense that time by Pittman. Sometimes the guy just makes a shot. Still 9-9, anybody's game.
Ladier Ogunleye will head to the line. He's already has 4 points for the Braves. And he'll have a chance at 2 more when we come back. 9-9 the score. 11:31 remaining here in the season opener. Ryan Beto and Chris Griffin back with you. Bradley and Ball State tied at 9, 11:31 remaining in the first half here in this 2015-2016 season opener. Bradley 17-2 in season openers here at Carver Arena, and have just been dominant in home openers in general, 70-9.
You said you're a numbers guy. That's impressive.
Yeah.
70-9. You know, his teammates call him D-Lo. Ladia Gunle has been very impressive here early on. Very aggressive, going to the basket, getting to the line. I think Coach Wardle's got to be very happy with what he's seen so far from Dorn 23.
Can we call him D-Lo from now on, too? Saves the mouthful, right?
Why not? Yeah.
D-Lo. Oh, no, he's going back to Ladia Gunle after the missed free throw.
Great offensive rebound, though. Bradley gets an extra possession.
Leading 10-9. He'll get the high ball screen on the left wing from Barker. They'll find Barker, looking to post up down low for James. Instead, they'll swing it right side. Here is Thomas.
Looking for Barker inside. Yep. They're stretching out the defense. Here comes a high screen from James.
Just 5 to shoot. Good defensive possession by the Cardinals, and they get a steal out of it.
Ball State very good defensively there. They cut off the lane. There wasn't an open shot. Gets them the turnover.
Davis drives in, bounce pass in traffic to House, who lays it home.
And that's their bread and butter. That's what Ball State wants to do. If Davis can continue to get inside that lane, it's going to cause a lot of problems because he can dish. He's got great vision.
Here's Pittman looking to post up down low. Quick, nice touch by James, who gets on the board.
Ton of raw talent from Scotty James. Again, like I said, he will go up and dunk on you, but showing a nice touch that time for the 2.
Tyler, left side to Davis, who gets the ball screen. Drives in, kicks it out. Back to Tyler, step back jumper is off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound, yes, and 1.
Big play there from Jeremiah Davis with Niall Smith on the bench with those fouls. Davis has really stepped it up now, and they're looking to him to facilitate and start that offense. And that time he gets a 3-point play.
And that's one thing, Chris, that dribble penetration can really do. Even if you don't score on that first bucket, due to all of those defensive rotations, a lot of time you have a free man for the offensive rebound. That was the case there, and they're able to stick it home. Cardinals lead by 2 as Niall Smith will check back in.
Smith, he'll be a key player to watch here. He's got those 2 fouls. Maybe attack him defensively with Ladia Gunle.
Both teams now in the double bonus. The rest of this first half, we're only halfway through this first half.
Gonna see a lot of free throws.
Pittman's 3, off right. Offensive rebound, Barker. He's got good position, goes up with the left and scores.
And that's just natural ability there. Able to get the rebound, able to keep his body wide, and show a nice touch again with the left hand.
Bradley still in man-to-man. Up top for Kiapway.
Sellers swinging around again. Pittman right in his hip pocket, though.
And underhand pass. That's the House. Did he travel? He did.
Get the turnover there. Sellers is looking for that open shot. You can see him moving from both sides of the court. They're definitely looking Sean Sellers' way, as they should. But that time, great defense from Bradley.
Yeah, and we talked in the pregame about recognizing shooters, and the Braves have done a really good job of recognizing the skill sets of these Ball State offensive players.
And Pittman's doing a great job in logging some of these minutes defensively. He's doing a great job on the defensive end.
Entry pass is knocked away, but a foul on Sellers.
Sellers just a little overzealous that time, just trying to get position, just reaches in with the left hand, he gets the foul called. Again, these refs calling a little tight, so you got to be careful.
Well, that's 2 now for Dante Thomas heading to the stripe. Thomas, the 6'7" sophomore, played at Thornwood High School on the south side of Chicago. 2.5 points, 2.5 rebounds a year ago. Struggled at the stripe at 40%.
He does struggle a bit from the line. He's going to have to, develop more and be able to knock him down. But he can make up in other ways, defensively, moving around, rebounding. There's a lot of different elements to winning basketball.
Second of 2 is good. Thomas did score 12 in the second exhibition game, a 84-65 winner over St. Joseph College. Bradley also played Edgewood College in their exhibition opener and won that one 78-42 here at Carver Arena. Ball State did not play an exhibition game, so this is really their rehearsal is their first one.
You make a great point there. You get those exhibition opportunities, be able to see your lineup, being able to see it out there with the crowd around you. It gives you an advantage, and you're seeing it pay off here. Bradley still up by 1.
Pittman, free throw line extended on the right, up top to Von Bray, who does have 2 fouls as well. That was the reason for his elongated blow.
Von Bray looking for that perimeter shot. He loves to play on the outside.
Pittman using his speed, tries to go up with the left, can't finish, gets his own rebound, tries a 3. That's off the front of the iron, and the rebound to Smith.
Get the second chance opportunity. That's all you can ask for. You just got to knock it down next time.
Smith nearly carried, instead drives in, right hand off the glass. The Braves fight for the rebound, and Barker comes away with it.
The Tasmanian with some aggression there.
Crowd likes it. Looking for that juke cut down low. Instead, they find Cooper driving baseline. Kicks it out. Nice skip. Again, here's Pittman. That's good.
What a look from Cooper that time. He looked at Barker and went a no-look pass to Pittman, who knocks the 3 down.
Bradley now with their largest lead of the evening at 4, 18-14. Now under 8 to play here in the first half. Smith gets the ball screen. Now kicks it out. Right wing stutter step. Now Smith tries to answer and does.
Smith knocking down a big 3. We thought he was going to be a little more aggressive and attack the basket. He seems to be backing off a bit, but he knocks down a huge 3.
Deflection out of bounds. It'll stay with Bradley when we come back. Back and forth we go. 7:41 remaining here in the first half. Bradley leading Ball State 18-17. I'm Brian Vito back here at Carver Arena. Bradley out to an 18-17 lead over Ball State. Chris, I'm looking at the stat sheet. It's a very evenly played game so far.
6 offensive rebounds for Ball State. Very much a key there, keeping them right in the game, but the big glaring numbers of 6 turnovers.
Yep.
6 turnovers, that gives the opportunity to the other team. Bradley's been able to take advantage. It's helped them to this 1-point lead.
7 points off those 6 turnovers for Ball State. And then on the flip side, you mentioned the Cardinals, 6 offensive rebounds. That's led to 7 second chance points as opposed to 0 for the Braves. So Bradley really got to clean that up the rest of the way.
And it was expected. It was expected that Ball State, they're very good on the offensive glass, so it's not surprising Bradley by any means. But I think they've been very strong defensively. Ladia Gonlea, again, very good with his aggression at the offensive end. And they've had a good rotation, and now you're going to see Okafor come back in and see what he can do.
So Okafor had 2 quick fouls, so it'll be nice to have him back out on the floor. As Dante Thomas will inbound, the Braves stack it up, and they get it into the aforementioned Joel Okafor, our highlighted player before the game. Haven't seen much of him, though, due to the 2 fouls.
Just got to watch the foul. He's very aggressive defensively. Just got to watch those reach-ins.
11 already on the shot clock. We've seen some deep possessions into the shot clock by the Braves. Here's Cadero Bell with the right hand. Couldn't get it to go. Smith. The 3 is good. That's Bick Gill, who checked in a couple of minutes ago. And he can stroke it from deep, as can many of these Ball State shooters.
You can see Bradley, they're trying to work that high screen again. They're trying to clear that lane so they can attack the basket. Tough pass.
Thrown away. And now the Cardinals trying to build on a 6-0 run, leading by 2. Smith hands it right side for Tyler, tries to drive baseline, is cut off nicely by Cadero Bell.
Ball State showing a little more patience right now offensively. They're looking for that open shot instead of forcing it.
And they're going to call an offensive foul, I believe, on a moving screen on Gill.
Not what Ball State wanted there. He hits the big 3, but you don't want that moving screen penalty. It just puts you in a tough position. Gives Bradley the ball right back. Another turnover.
We've had a couple of those called against the Cardinals and didn't get a great look at either of them per se, but a lot of times it's on the cutter as much as it's the screener.
Yeah, and there's so many bodies moving in there. Sometimes they just pick and choose whoever they want to call it on. That time, though, there was movement, and you get the foul call.
Thomas back to the basket, hands off to Pittman, and we're going the other way. Same call.
Right back the other way, just like an instant replay almost. Another moving screen. Again, a lot of young guys out there, you know, learning the game, understanding the rules. You're going to have those things happen. You just want to limit those, especially as the season carries on.
So Laudie Ogunleye will check back in for the Braves and Jeremiah Davis for Ball State.
Pressuring the ball full court again. Going to see a little more ball pressure this time.
Bradley been very consistent man-to-man, and justifiably so. They've pretty good defensive showing here in the first half. That's a nice design play, but Smith couldn't finish at the other end.
Beautifully designed play that time by Ball State. You got to finish at that end, though.
Laudie Ogunleye up top. Seen a pump fake from Barker a couple of times trying to step into a 3. Hasn't pulled the trigger yet.
And I've been a little surprised. Barker's playing a lot on the perimeter. He's not coming down low. He's setting a lot of high screens. They're trying to open up those lanes and attack the basket.
Pull-up jumper is well off the mark. Barker able to keep it alive, but shot clock didn't reset. Goes up with the left, no good. And Smith the rebound for the Cardinals.
Bodies flying everywhere. That's what you want to see. You see that aggression. You see that effort.
Driving baseline, Barker over to help, cuts off Sellers. Skips it to the opposite corner, and it trickles off the leg of Smith and out of bounds.
And I think the 2 early fouls may have shaken Smith a little bit. He just doesn't seem like he's in the rhythm that he would normally want to be in. He seems a little hesitant on offense. We see him miss that easy gimme. You know, he's just got to work into the game a little bit.
Yeah, he does seem like a different player from after the 2 fouls. Was very aggressive early on. It's more of a true point guard, nice player, but a little bit more tentative.
And he's aggressive, you know, it throws off your mentality. When you get those fouls, oh, I can't be aggressive anymore, and then it causes these types of mistakes.
Another deflection by this Cardinals defense. It'll stay with Bradley with 17 on the shot clock. And the Braves coming off a 9-24 campaign a year ago, 3-15 in the Missouri Valley, 7-9 here in Peoria. Dump it down low to Barker. Who's nearly quadruple team. Opens up a 3, and it's no good.
And that's the look you want. Ronnie Suggs, a beautiful left-hand shooter. He's silky smooth from the outside, just couldn't knock it down that time.
Davis leaves one short, and the Braves are on the run. They have numbers if they push it. Down low, Laudie Ogunleye can't finish, and a late whistle, and he'll go back to the line.
And one thing you notice right there, Brian, aside from all the numbers and the basketball, is how these players at Bradley have bought in. When Laudie Ogunleye goes down on the ground, all his teammates go there to pick him back up. You know, they bought into what the system is. They bought into what they're teaching here. It's got them playing like a team.
And good effort, and I like that run out by the Braves. When they get those stops, it allows them to get out and transition, and I think both teams want to try to take advantage of that more on the offensive end.
Callum Barker is doing an outstanding job inside right now. He's working overtime. He's getting quadruple teamed like you see inside. He's working hard, and he's just got to keep it going for 2 halves, though.
Let's see what Laudie Ogunleye is going to do. Is we're going to have some sort of official review. Not exactly sure why.
They're looking at the screen really closely, though. I can say that.
4:44 remaining. Bradley trailing by 2. And Chris, we haven't talked about the coaching matchup too much in this one. Bradley now led by Brian Wardle. You spoke a lot about him in the pregame at the top of the broadcast. The 14th head coach in Bradley history, spread the previous 5 seasons at Green Bay, and that team got better every single year he was there.
And you can see what he's trying to develop here. He brings in the newcomers, yes. You know, what are the expectations from the fans and the student body and the administration? You know, you don't know what the expectations are, but they know that the brand is right, they know the players are here, and that the future is really bright at Bradley. I think they've got the right guy.
And before that, spent 5 seasons as an assistant for the Phoenix. And before that on the Marquette coaching staff, where he starred and graduated in 2001, 7th on the all-time scoring list at Marquette. That's some pretty good company he's with, too.
Absolutely. He's got all the connections. He's got, you know, he knows all the people you want him to know. And it's just, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
Can't argue with the record, right? Every year that record improved at Green Bay. He took over a team that was really struggling, was very young, and he made him to a contender very quickly. Coach of the Year in the Horizon League a couple of years ago. A team that won the Horizon League regular season, so brings a really nice pedigree to Peoria.
And now, if he can transfer that to Bradley, these fans, Braves fans will be very excited here in Peoria.
Tied at 20, open 3 for Tyler is no good. And a nice rebound.
Ball State is getting a few more open looks. They're starting to extend the defense a little bit, but Bradley hanging right in there.
Open 3, James is no good. And chased down by Suggs, and I believe that's going to stay with the Braves, and it will. Good extra effort by Suggs.
He gets bailed out. He was in no man's land. He was up in the air. He had the ball, and he was kind of looking for somebody. And he just threw it and got lucky. Went off of Ball State.
You saw it just out of the corner of your screen, James Whitford as well, the head coach for the Cardinals in his 3rd year. For a few years, the associate head coach at the University of Arizona, so he brings a nice pedigree to Ball State as well.
Yeah, they played some pretty good basketball in Arizona,
To say the least. And speaking of Arizona, that's Bradley's next opponent, Arizona in Virginia.
The tests get a little tougher as they go on.
Cadero Bell driving down the right side is fouled on his way in. No shot, but it doesn't matter. He'll shoot 2 anyway as the Braves are in the double bonus, but Bell will have to wait a minute as we've reached the under 4 timeout. 3:54 remaining to be exact here in the first half. Bradley and Ball State knotted up at 20. Brian Vito and Chris Griffin back with you as you get a look at the legendary Coach Joel Stoll here at the Hilltop. He's been here for decades upon decades with New Bradley Athletic Director Chris Reynolds. And Coach Stoll is more synonymous with Bradley basketball than maybe anyone is. You know, as a coach both on the men's and women's side, he spent some time as an analyst on the radio broadcast for Bradley for many years with the magnificent voice of the Braves, Dave Snell. And a nice honor for him. He got a standing ovation during the timeout.
And you see how in tune these Bradley fans are to the community and to the basketball team. Great honoring him, standing ovation. You know, maybe he's going to throw some tips Bradley's way.
Yeah.
Huh?
So the Braves will take the court. Here 20-20 the score as Cadero Bell will go to the line.
And for Bradley, again, we've seen that same dribble penetration. They draw the defenders out, and they want to attack the basket. They've been attacking the right side of that basket, and it's paid off. They've gotten to the line very consistently.
The Braves from the stripe now 9 of 12. They'll live at 75% all year.
Percentage goes up just like that.
They'll take that any day of the week. Team that shot 70% last year, which was up from previous years.
Bradley's gone with a smaller lineup here, going for the quickness, and it pays off right there.
Look at the active hands by Laudie Ogunleye, who lays it home. Chris, we've been extremely impressed with his game so far tonight.
He's been fantastic defensively, offensively. He's showing aggression. He's been fantastic early on.
Kiapway finds Davis. Good communication on the ball screen. The Braves switch, however. Now they got a mismatch down low, but the Cardinals go away with it. Instead go to House on the low block, being guarded by James. 5 to shoot. Davis steps into a deuce. And a foul over the back, I believe, on Sellers. That will be his second, and the Braves will shoot 2 more.
And Ball State has some mismatches right now. They've got House and they've got Calhoun, both very big guys down low. Bradley a little underside. They've gone with that smaller lineup, but they're still playing aggressive defensively. They're still right there. And again, going right to the line. It's been the story of the first half.
Yeah, it really has, and the Braves have converted. We talked about getting the line for Ball State being one of the keys. The Braves really flipped the script in that regard.
And they're knocking them down. When you're shooting high percentage from the free throw line, at some point, Ball State is going to fear them going to the line.
Laudie Ogunleye, 4 of 6, now 4 of 7. As Jeremy Tyler will check in. Tyler played in the first semester last year, started in all 9 games he played, actually led the team in scoring with 12 points per game, but was academically ineligible for the second semester. We've seen him knock down a shot earlier and make a really nice tough shot falling away from the lane, and that's what he can really do off the bench for this Ball State squad.
Again, some switching off here, going by Bradley. They're switching off defensively. Scotty James working hard down low.
Continues to work hard, bullied in by House, goes up and a foul. And that's just an outstanding move by Franco House, big body down low.
Just great offensive skills that time. Once he's in the post, Scotty James tried to hang in there, but Franco House just a bigger, more experienced, more seasoned player, and he gets the 2.
Also recruited as both a tight end and defensive end coming out of high school. You see where that frame comes from.
There you go.
Shot 50% from the field last year, top 10 in the MAC. And he makes good on the old-fashioned 3-point play to get the Cardinals to within 2 with 2:47 remaining.
Another high ball screen there from Bradley. They're still working that perimeter. Barker working hard down low.
Driving down right side, going up was Pittman with the right hand and hauled in by Calhoun, who's got 5 rebounds already here in the first half for the Cardinals. Nice move by Davis, and he scores with the left.
Davis has been very strong again in Smith's absence. Ball State's starting to pick up the tempo a little bit. They're starting to use their size a little more to their advantage.
Bell operating near the timeline, another high ball screen from Barker. They'll skip it, deflected, hauled in anyway by the Braves. And nice dump down low to Barker, who had it blocked from behind. A lot of contact, no foul. Here comes Tyler the other way, and he'll wisely slow things down. He didn't have any numbers.
Davis going to try and set it up again. A mismatch down. Calhoun on Suggs. He's got about 50 pounds on Suggs, maybe.
Calhoun with the left hand, no good. House the rebound, but he had it poked away. The Braves have numbers if they want. Pump fake on the 3. Driving left side, kicks out in the corner, back up top, open 3, Suggs is no good. Another great look for Bradley and for Suggs, just couldn't quite knock it down.
Once they knock down those shots, they'll be right in it. They'll be right back in it again. He's a great shooter from the outside, just got to connect.
And another great bounce pass in traffic as Ball State wanted the timeout after the made basket. James Whitford was not granted. Bradley will walk it up.
Some very tough matchups down low right now. Barker's working overtime, and there's just so much size down low.
Nice spin move in the lane in the left hand, and he scores.
Beautiful feed, getting it into the interior. Barker again working extra hard down low.
And here is a timeout by Ball State. 1:01 remaining here in the first half. And Chris, it's back and forth we go. Every time Bradley goes on a mini run, Ball State answers right back and vice versa.
And you're a numbers guy. You know, numbers have been very even. Turnovers, the rebounds, the fouls. You know, a lot have been very even as far as the numbers are concerned, and that's why you see a tie game at 27-27 when you just look at the numbers. Bradley having a little tough time when they've gone to this smaller lineup. Ball State trying to push them around a little bit, trying to test the freshmen and see if they've got that physicality. But still can go either way. As long as Bradley can keep that tempo up and keep pushing the ball and keep driving the lane, they've got more opportunities.
Ball State 11 of 24 from the floor, shooting much better than Bradley at 7 of 22, but the difference again at the foul line. Braves +8 in free throws made column over Ball State. And the Cardinals will have it out of the timeout, under a minute to play in a tie ball game.
Bradley's changed defense. They've gone to more of a zone look now. They're not a man defense anymore. They want to close off that lane.
Really switch things up out of timeout. Tyler drives in with the right hand and a foul, and he'll go to the line.
Tyler been very impressive. He's been very impressive in this first half. You can see when Bradley goes to that zone, they want to close off down low a little bit. Thomas was there on the help. Just a little bit better execution from Tyler.
That's number 2 on Thomas, as Tyler goes to the line where he was 73% a year ago. Misses the front end. Ball State last year just 1 win in 15 road contests, 0-6 in road non-conference matchups. But again, same team in as far as personnel is concerned, but a different team the way they've probably grown in the last year.
Full off season, be able to work together, get in the weight room, be able to develop your players. It pays off, but they didn't have those exhibition games, and I think that's what's really helped Bradley having those 2 exhibition games.
Again, the Braves with convincing victories, albeit against much lesser opponents. However, they look very good in those 2 games, a lot of effort, and it looked like they'd been playing together a little bit longer than they obviously have, as Barker finally stepped in and tried a 3, nearly banked one home.
And you will see that from Barker. He will step out, and he will try and move those bigs, and he's going to try and knock down that open 3. Especially with Cooper in there, you can take more chances.
And Ball State will have it as the shot clock and game clock are practically identical. Now 10 to shoot.
This is going to be Davis attacking the rim.
Yep. Doing what he does best. Gets the high ball screen from House. Bounce pass. And it falls into the hand of Tyler. Davis might have to force one up. I don't think he got it off. He did not. And I think that was a shot clock violation. I believe there should be a couple of tenths of seconds remaining. And Coach Brian Wardle was talking about the same thing. I feel like this is the Stanford-Cal football game with the band being on the field right now.
Can you do the voice?
A little bit less. No, I can't.
The band is on the field. You know, how in tune is the Bradley coaching staff, though?
Yep.
Even in a moment like that, they were very good defensively, but keeping an eye on the clock. Let's take a look at it. Even if there's 0.5 seconds, still another 0.5 seconds that you have
absolutely.
the ball.
So the play under review currently. But as it stands right now, there might be a little bit of time left, even if it is 0.5, and we might get another look. And here we go, all queued up, and this is the end of Ball State's possession here, where we might be able to see it on the top of the clock as it goes off. And can't quite see the time on it, so not sure if Bradley's going to get a chance at another possession or not. If anything, it's going to be a less than a second, half a second or less.
They said they're going for another angle.
And they might take a look at another angle to see if they can see what the clock was at when that red light went on for the shot clock. In all likelihood, it's going to end up being 28-27 at halftime. We'll just see if Bradley gets at least a chance at a Hail Mary. 10.5.
Looks like 0.4. I think 0.4.
0.4.
This is going to be a long throw and a possible tip in. That's all you can hope for there.
Let's see what Bradley tries to draw up. This was as good as a timeout, at least for Coach Wardle. He was able to draw up something. Now he's actually going to take another timeout. And in theory, you do have time to do the catch and shoot if it's 0.3 or higher. Right now it stands at 0.4, but Bradley nearly have to go in the length of the court, so they might try just a tip in down low.
But again,
Devontae Cooper.
This is a great opportunity here for the Bradley coaching staff to show some of their players, hey, with 0.4 on the clock, we're going to go there. We're going to find out how much more time is on the clock, and let's try and set something up. Again, it's a long season. You want to learn. You want to keep learning throughout the whole process. And you can go through these certain plays, and hey, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least you've taught them something for further down the road.
Teaching moment again for Bradley, and we'll see what they run out of the timeout. It's going to be Dante Thomas to inbound. And Alec Moses, or Trey Moses, excuse me, we haven't seen much of. He comes in with 2 fouls as the big man. They go look for Barker, and if it wasn't touched, Ball State's going to get the ball where Thomas threw it in, and I think that is the case.
Coach Wardle not happy that time. That is not what you wanted there. You didn't want the turnover. And now the role reversal again. Ball State now has an opportunity for a quick shoot maybe.
Calhoun's going to check in. They're going to wisely have Barker on the inbound man, Tyler, try to get around his wingspan. And they're going to say Calhoun's too late. And Sellers will come in because he was in.
Look for the screen from House. Maybe Sellers at the top of the key. I think that's what they're looking for.
Good switch by the Braves. They get into Moses, no good. And the longest 0.4 seconds in college basketball history finally comes to an end. And we have finally reached halftime, the first 20 minutes of the season in the books. Bradley trailing by the slimmest of margins, 28-27, Ball State on top. Welcome back to Carver Arena. Bradley trailing 28-27 to Ball State here at our first halftime of the 2015-2016 season. Brian Vito alongside Chris Griffin. And Chris, we talked a lot about, we've harped all over the new changes here at Bradley, but it's hard not to with the makeover that this whole school and arena has had over the last several months.
They've really worked hard to build the brand. They want to build the Bradley brand. Coach Wardle's done a fantastic job. Dr. Chris Reynolds, the new athletic director, has done a fantastic job. They're really building the environment. You can see great crowds. Did we see a motorcycle out here in pregame? I think we saw a motorcycle.
We saw Kaboom roll in on a motorcycle. We have that new half of the student section, the red zone, where they basically ripped out some of the seating and allowed for more of a lounge area for the students. There's easy waiter-waitress service right over there as well. I wish they had that when I was here. Don't get me wrong, we had a great fan experience then as well back in the mid-2000s, but that would be cool to have. So just so many new changes, so many new branding opportunities for the Braves, even on the outside of Carver Arena and the Civic Center itself, a lot of changes. So it's just a really exciting time to be around this program.
And that's exactly what you want. If you're a Bradley fan, you want that excitement. You know the Braves are a very young and up-and-coming team. You're going to be able to come up with this team, and you're going to have a great experience as a fan as well. And the fans and the students, they're very well taken care of. And you can see the red all over Bradley again. It's a very exciting time, like you said. You got to be excited.
I'm really excited. We're going to be here all season long throughout the course of this home schedule, so don't get too sick of us already. So we got plenty of action left for the rest of this 2015-2016 season. We'll step aside, take another time out. First half stats coming up. More next. With Chris Griffin, I'm Brian Vito back here at Carver Arena. Ball State leading Bradley 28-27. Chris, as we take a look at our first half numbers, pretty even for the most part.
Very even. Rebounds 14-12. Ball State in control there. You thought they were going to hit the offensive glass, and they did. Turnovers, a lot for both sides. Bradley with 3 less. The field goal percentage, Ball State 11 for 24. Bradley 7 for 23. And they're even on the 3 points. They both hit 2. They got to just improve in some of those areas, and that's what leads us to a 1-point game.
The one thing that we really didn't see in that graphic that's been a major factor so far, free throw shooting. Bradley 11 of 15 from the line, plus 8 from the line, that department. That's the reason they're still in this one.
And you got to make it up in other areas. Once you can get to the line, if you can knock them down at a high percentage, that keeps you right in the game. You know they're in the locker room now. They're trying to improve on those turnovers and those fouls. But if you can keep that free throw percentage very high, and maybe hit some of those open threes. You know, Suggs has a couple of those open looks. He knocks those down. Bradley's got a 6-point lead.
Take another time out here. 28-27 the score here at halftime at Carver Arena. Back here with first half highlights coming up next. see the score right there. Ball State with a 28-27 lead over Bradley in a very seesaw-type first half between these two squads. And let's see how we got there, Chris. You see early the Braves getting out, taking a 3-0 lead.
D'Lo making them happy at the Carver.
He was outstanding pretty much the entire first half on the other end. Jeremiah Davis pretty good, not that time, however. And a lot of offensive glass opportunities for Ball State. Bradley able to get out in transition. I feel like both teams were at their best when they were able to get the ball in the open court.
Once you can get that transition, once you can get everybody moving, it really plays into Bradley's hands more because Ball State's got that size. They're going to want to capitalize on it. Again, you see a D'Lo again, and then you see some of that size inside Franco House. It's going to be tough to defend if Ball State gets those opportunities.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of lineup Coach Wardle goes with if he goes to that smaller lineup, knowing he's undersized down low, but it gives him an advantage outside. We saw that in the waning parts of the first half. Let's see what we get in the second half. You see Ball State getting the action from three as well. Braves, we saw a lot of this getting to the foul line. There's Kadero Bell knocking one down. Bradley with 11 made free throws in the first half and more. Ladier Ogunleye, who was just sensational in that first half, and let's see if he can get that going in half number two.
D'Lo was fantastic in the first half. He was great. He did it all. He did it all defensively. He did it all offensively. He was able to push the ball. And he's just got that look about him, you know? He's just got that look where he wants to attack the basket. He's playing really well.
Again, 28-27 the score. We'll take our final timeout. The break back with second half action coming at you next. Brian Vito and Chris Griffin back here in Peoria at Carver Arena. Just about ready to get underway here in the second half with Bradley trailing Ball State 28-27. After tonight, Bradley's next game will be this coming Monday, November the 16th at number 10 Arizona, a tall task for anyone in the country. And then you take into account that their game after that's going to be against Virginia. Not an easy start for the Coach Brian Wardle era here at Bradley.
Obviously, two very tough tests they're going to be running into. This Arizona team, number 10 in the country, they're going to be very tough. They're very good. They're very athletic. But again, it's a teaching experience. They're going to learn a lot. You know, we'll see what Bradley's got when they go up there against the number 10 team. They might surprise you. You never know. You never know.
Definitely is going to be a good experience for them either way against those two squads. The next game we'll have for you here at Carver Arena will come the night before Thanksgiving. New Orleans will come into town, and then we'll have that following Saturday against Ole Miss. That'll be a fun one.
A lot of great games coming up. It's going to be very fun working next to you, Vito. I think I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to call you Brian or if I'm going to call you Vito. But I like
about as open as you can possibly get.
I like Vito.
Ball State, on the other hand, they'll also play on Monday the 16th, but that'll be their home opener. They'll take on Eastern Illinois out of the Ohio Valley Conference.
So we talk about those next games coming up. Bradley would love a win right here. They would love to pick up a win. If you know you've got Arizona, you're going to be on the road. You get the win, you know, you could be looking at who knows. But if you got that 1-0 in the column, it gives you a little more confidence on that road trip.
Yeah, absolutely, especially showing the ability to win on your home court. It's been such an advantage for this program going back now the 112th year of Bradley basketball, being able to win here not only at Carver Arena but at the Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse before that. And just a great home atmosphere. We talked about openers that take place here in Peoria. Bradley 70-9, so they've made it a home court advantage. You'd love to see this freshman group, mostly freshman group, get off on the right foot as well.
Expecting here in the second half, again, Ball State's going to want to continue that aggression down low. Look for Bradley, Von Bray kind of opening it up from the outside, and Okafor's just got to be a little more aggressive on the offensive end.
And we didn't see a ton of Okafor and Von Bray due to foul trouble here in the first half, so they're both on the court to start the second half. We saw a lot of Ladier Ogunleye, the only player in double figures. Hands it off to Von Bray, who gets a good look at it, can't get it to go.
They got what they wanted there. Von Bray on the perimeter, could have taken the three, dribble drive, just got to knock it down.
Lob pass down low, looking for Moses. Didn't see a ton of him either due to some foul trouble. And he gets the and one on the first possession of the second half for Ball State. Great start for the Cardinals, much like Bradley had in that first half.
Trey Moses, a young player. They've been very impressed with him. We've heard that his development has come along a little quicker than they thought. He dropped some weight, put on some muscle, and you can see it inside. He's a very good inside player.
He's going to be a monster on the glass for the next 4 years as well.
He's just going to continue to develop. But you know who else is? Callum Barker. He's going to continue to develop, get stronger, get bigger, and be tougher inside.
You had to love what you saw out of Callum Barker in that first 20 minutes. I mean, that guy was all over the place, banging down low, nonstop, saw a lot of time. And he's going to be a good one as well.
And for a young guy, not shying away from the physicality.
Open three for Barker. Make me look good. He does.
Look at that. He will go outside. He will hit that three. And Moses is not a perimeter defender. You saw Moses couldn't keep up with Barker. Gives him the advantage there on the offensive end.
Yeah, really has to drag him out of that inside paint area. Less of a rebounding body in there as well if you're able to keep him out near the perimeter as House is fouled as he puts it on the floor. Oh, no, they're going to call a travel. Wasn't sure which came first, the travel or the foul, because they both were there.
Von Bray couldn't believe it. He thought he was getting called for a third foul. He was on the help defensively there. Got the travel, got the turnover.
Franco House looked like a tight end recruit there, trying to split the defense, trying to shed a block. Barker hands up top. Ladier Ogunleye for three is no good. And the rebound hauled in by Moses. Outlet over to Davis. Davis drives toward the middle with the left. Kicks it out. Sellers gets Barker in the air, drives in. Von Bray, was able to somewhat influence that shot. And now they kick it out.
Sellers been a little slow to get going. We haven't seen too much from him on the offensive end. He's trying to get more opportunities.
The reigning MAC freshman of the year. The Braves have done a good job holding him in check as they trail by one. Skip pass over to Barker. And now Ladier Ogunleye calling for the ball screen. Gets it, drives in, and he's fouled on his way up.
Again, more aggressive from 23. He's been aggressive all game. He continues it here in the second half. They spread out offensively. They're not having anybody in the key. They want to make Ball State get out of their comfort zone. Ball State likes to stay down low. They like to use their size. When you can spread them out a little bit, it gives you opportunities like that.
That's the third on Moses, and that's just really a sound strategy on both sides, is attacking the basket with how tight they're calling the foul situation, and they've been consistent on both ends.
Be aggressive offensively, a lot of good things can happen. You don't want to be careless, but you want to be aggressive. When you attack the basket, you can see Ladier Ogunleye. That's what he loves to do. I think we're going to see a lot of that aggression. If he can harness it just like he is, get to the line, knock it down.
And he makes good on a pair. He's now 7 of 10 from the stripe. Leads all scorers with 12 as Bradley now catapults in front by 1.
We're seeing more of Pittman again, putting some ball pressure on Smith. Pittman getting a lot of minutes, maybe more than expected here in the game, but he's doing very well defensively.
They get it over to Davis. Draws a double team. Now drives toward the middle. Right-hand floater, no good, and corralled in by Barker. 1 and done.
Bradley's got to take advantage right here. They've got a 1-point lead.
Bounce pass looking for Barker, led him a little too far. That's a tough pass for the big man who was more posting up instead of traveling to that low block.
Timing just off a little bit. Barker was able to roll down low. The pass just a touch quicker. He would have had it, maybe had an opportunity.
Again, here comes the 6'10 freshman from Atlanta, replacing Barker. That's Devontae Cooper. Cooper was really working hard defensively in that first half.
He's a real big interior defender. He's able to defend House. House still has a little more weight. He's got that tight end size. But again, I'm looking for Ball State Smith especially to be more aggressive just like that.
Can't get it to go. Rebound battle won by the Braves this time. And Laudie Ogunleye will bring it up. Good help off the ball screen from Calhoun. Recovers to his defender Cooper. They find Cooper anyway. Puts it on the floor. Has it swiped and stolen away by the bigger Calhoun, and then Cooper with the late reach-in foul.
Cooper just a little careless there. He put the ball on the ground. You probably don't want to see him put the ball on the ground too much. You want to see him kind of get the ball out to his perimeter players, look for those swing men, look for that open three. Calhoun also very good defensively that time.
Niall Smith will bring it up. We saw him get more aggressive, didn't finish, but that looked more like the first part of the first half for Ball State last time. He got a little bit more tentative in the second half after the 2 fouls. Davis gets Laudie Ogunleye on the ground, but he can't get it to go.
Bradley playing that aggressive man defense. They're hanging right with him.
Suggs with the left-handed floater, no. And there's a lid on the basket on both sides right now. Sellers with the left hand, he scores.
Ball State transition right there. That's how you chalk it up. Rebounding, quick transition. Barker's coming right back in.
Von Bray gives left side for Suggs, and a foul off the ball. That's going to be on House. Second on Ball State this half. Bradley also with 2.
Bradley trying to find their rhythm a little bit. They're moving some players around again. We're seeing a lot of different lineups. They're still adjusting to a lot of these new players, and they're trying to find that identity offensively. Von Bray is definitely looking for some looks. I would look to him to take a few more threes.
And Chris, both sides really not afraid to use the bench, trying to figure out that optimal combination on the floor, and you're probably going to see that quite frequently from Bradley this year.
Early in the season especially, too, you know, finding out who plays well together, who plays better together, and finding that continuity.
Puts it on the floor, Von Bray. Suggs with the right hand, off-hand throws it up with the left. Von Bray the offensive rebound and pulls it out, and the Braves have a fresh 30.
Second chance opportunity here. Bradley can get the lead.
Barker, right wing. And now Bradley being patient on the wing, swinging around the horn, looking to post up Barker. Instead, Von Bray will quick trigger a 3. And off the back of the iron. Again, another good look for the Braves from the perimeter, just can't knock it down.
Barker's movement down low is actually opening up those outside shots. He's drawing attention from those guards and getting those open looks.
And that's going to be on Von Bray, and that will be his 3rd foul. So we'll see what Coach Wardle wants to do with him. When we come back, 15:28 remaining in this one. The margin's the same as it was at halftime. Ball State by 1. Ball State 33, Bradley 32 with Chris Griffin on Brian Vito. And Chris, it's not only opening night here in Peoria, it's opening night all around college basketball. You look around the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference and everyone pretty much in action. One final in from earlier, Indiana State falls at home to IUPUI 72-70. Elsewhere, SIU trailing to Air Force at home 53-45 in the second half. Oral Roberts all over Missouri State 50-31. Number 10, Wichita State, a 42-30 lead on Charleston Southern. And Loyola with an 11-point halftime lead at home against UTSA. I don't want to forget Drake. They're taking on Simpson, and they lead 78-31 in that one.
It'll be exciting to see some of those teams later on down the schedule, see what they can do against the Braves. Dwayne Laudie-Agunlie has been the story, though. Only player right now on both sides in double digits. He's been great up to this point, and Antoine Pittman has done a lot of good work off the bench.
He really has, especially on both ends of the floor. Let's see what he contributes here in the second half. Braves really just struggling from the floor. 8 of 29 at 28%. They've gotten some good luck, just haven't been able to cash in.
They've also been very good defensively, though. Ball State has had their struggles as well. Callum Barker's worked very hard down low.
And he's working hard again on Franco House. Great defensive effort, but an offensive rebound by Calhoun. Count it and a foul.
And that's their bread and butter again. Ball State, that's what they want to do. You know, very aggressive on the offensive glass. Calhoun right there gets the finish, gets the foul.
And one for Calhoun.
So Calhoun now with 6 points to go along with 6 rebounds. 80% foul shooter a year ago. Add a little bit of stretch to his game. Really operated about 12 feet in through his first couple of years as a junior. Even added the three-point shot of his repertoire. At least got a little more touch both from the line and the stripe, and you saw it right there.
Go to the ball, Sean. Go to the ball. Go to the ball.
Here's Pittman in traffic. No, but Barker able to keep it alive, and Pittman tracks it down and then loses it.
Pittman's still working very hard on the offensive end. Just a tough turnover there.
The high ball screen for Smith with the right hand. No good. I think that's going to be a push off on House, and it is.
When you get that good position where you can get in front of your man, that's how those types of things happen. 4-point Ball State lead right now. Ball State looking to find, they have a little more rhythm offensively right now. Bradley's still trying to find a rhythm here in the second half.
See if they can get a good shot and just see something go through the nylon. Give them a little bit more confidence, as they've really gone stale, at least offensively, as far as making shots. They're getting good looks on occasion.
They've been able to attack Moses down low a bit. I'd be looking to see a little bit more dribble penetration.
Does have 3 fouls as well. That one muscled away from Suggs. And now 15 on the shot clock. Laudie-Agunlie with it. Now 10 to shoot. Here comes the high ball screen. Lost it, gets it away. Suggs fakes a 3, gets it out, open 3. Thomas is no good. Barker working for the rebound, and he's gonna, I believe it's gonna stay here, and it's gonna be on Sellers, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they're gonna say it's on Barker.
Wow, Callum Barker working very hard down low again. He's working, crowd doesn't like it.
No. To say the least. But like you said, good effort by Barker down low. That's his 3rd foul, but really working down to try to keep that possession alive for the Braves.
He's been doing it all night long. He's been working great against any big that Ball State brings in.
Hand off to Sellers, spins. Good double team by the Braves. Tipped around, and the rebound goes to Thomas. Let's see if Bradley tries to run. They don't have numbers, and they'll pull it out.
Sellers continuing to struggle a bit on the offensive end. He's trying to find those open looks, trying to create baskets. Great time that time by Suggs. Great defense.
Laudie-Agunlie, free throw line extended on the left. Gets the ball screen, drives towards the middle of the floor. Now bounce pass to Thomas, who squares up, step back deuce, left it short. Calhoun, I mentioned he added that 3-point shot to his repertoire, comes up short that time.
Ball State gets a look. Smith running the offense. He's being a touch more aggressive here in the second half. They probably talked to him, told him to get a little more aggressive with his offense.
Von Bray set to check back in as Bradley searching for some offense.
Spreading the defense out, trying to get Moses out of the lane. They're trying to work down low.
Up top, here's Cadero Bell, 7 on the shot clock, finds Thomas, and now he's got to go to work. Thomas drives in, right-handed finger roll, had it blocked. Really didn't have much of a choice there, had to go with the shot clock winding down.
Tried to draw the foul. He was trying to be aggressive, and Ball State just did a good job defensively.
And Moses is bumped by Barker, and if that is on Barker, that's his 4th. Oh no, it's going to be on Bell. 6th foul on Bradley, so now Ball State will be in the bonus the rest of the way. And Chris, even though Bradley hasn't been able to buy a bucket recently, you got to give them credit. They're still only down 4 because of their effort on the defensive end.
And the coaching staff is stressing you got to still be very strong on the defensive end. Don't worry about the baskets. They're going to come. Those opportunities are going to come. But if you can still play tight defensively, maybe you get a turnover and get that quick transition.
And they've done just that as Tyler triggers a 3, no good. And skying in the air to get the rebound is Laudie Ogunleye.
Picking up the tempo, trying to get down court. Von Bray on Moses is a nice matchup. That's a mismatch there for Bradley. He's got more quickness.
Let's see if they try to find him, and Coach Wardle is signaling what he wants.
Ball State going to that man. You got to make Moses move down low. You can open up that lane.
He beat his man, right hand off the glass and good. That's what Bradley needed to get going, and who else but Laudie Ogunleye.
He's been the star so far. Again, you spread that defense out. You're able to attack the lane, and Moses, with those fouls, is being a little more tentative. Got to attack the rim.
Smith. Now they have to switch. They got Moses on a mismatch down low, trying to find him, and a foul. That's going to be on Laudie Ogunleye, and Moses will go to the line for 1 and the bonus when we come back. 11:36 remaining in this one. Ball State leading 36-34. Ball State by 2 as we approach the midway point of the second half. Ryan Vito with Chris Griffin. And Chris, got to give credit to both these squads. Ball State hasn't played really at all, and they come on the road. They really struggled there last year. They got a 2-point lead. Bradley, on the other hand, finding a way to stick around, only trailing by 2 despite struggling from the field.
Yeah, if you're Bradley right now, you're okay. You're down by 2. You know you haven't had some of the best offensive possessions here in the second half, but you're still right there. Ball State has made the adjustments. You can see that they're slowing it down. They know they've got a little more size down low right now. They've got a little more girth down low. They're able to use it. They're able to box out. They're getting on the offensive glass. It gets them the opportunities. Bradley is getting the open looks on the offensive end. They've got the open looks from the 3. If they can start knocking some of them down, it's anybody's game. It can go either way.
And credit Coach Wardle and his staff for really recognizing the mismatches on the offensive end. We talked about Von Bray being guarded by Moses and drawing him out of the lane, and they've gotten the looks like you said, and eventually those are going to start dropping. That's a big miss on the front end, and it's tracked down by Laudie Ogunleye.
Long rebound, you got to get those. They do. Gets up the possession. Could maybe tie or take the lead.
And a foul away from the ball. And that's going to be on Smith, his 3rd. This is the 4th team foul on the Cardinals. How about Laudie Ogunleye, 14 points. He also leads the Braves with 7 boards.
He's doing it in all aspects right now. He's been an absolute star for them here in the first opener.
Braves look to inbound. Get the safety valve to Barker. Pump fake, hands it off to Laudie Ogunleye. Braves did have a fresh 30 after the foul. Popping out the flare.
Davis a better matchup defensively than Smith on Ogunleye.
Got his man up on the ground. Von Bray thought about a three. Didn't pull the trigger and then walked.
Coaching staff wanted him to pull the trigger there. They wanted him to shoot. He's got those open looks. He's just dealing with, it's early. When you don't see it go through the nylon sometimes you're hesitant. It's okay. Just fire away, see what happens.
And they clearly have confidence in him to knock down that shot, and justifiably so. He's going to be an outstanding shooter throughout his Bradley career.
He's going to be a real star here for the Bradley Braves.
Nice move by Tyler. I thought for a second that Von Bray actually got a hand on it, but it falls in anyway. And Ball State back to a 4-point lead.
Tyler's been a spark off the bench. Pittman's been great off the bench for Bradley, but Tyler has been just that for Ball State. 4-point lead.
Von Bray has it. Left wing, Barker. Puts it on the floor, and now 11 to shoot, now 10. Here comes the high ball screen again from Laudie Ogunleye and Barker.
D'Lo to the basket.
Drives in left hand and gets it to go.
Been very aggressive. When you see that high screen by Callum Barker, you know Ogunleye is going to attack.
Nice move by Tyler, and a blocking foul coming up on Von Bray. That's number 4 on him. They're going to say he slid in at the last second.
Crowd doesn't like it, but you got to get your feet.
It's the right call.
It's with your feet. It's all about the feet defensively. You got to get your feet under you. Got to find position just a little quicker. And again, that guy Tyler, he's been fantastic. He's now at the line.
Very quick hands, able to release the shot. Just a natural score, makes the first.
A player that Ball State is very glad to have back, I'm sure. I'm sure they missed him a lot in the second half of the season. If they can keep him on the court, it's a good 6-man, especially coming right off the bench.
Yeah, again, averaged 12 points per game, which was tied for tops on this Ball State squad in games that he played last year in the first 9 games of the season before again sitting out the remainder. Back to a 4-point lead for the Cardinals, approaching 10 minutes to go in this one.
Big possession right here for Bradley. You'd like to see something go through.
Bell finds Laudie Ogunleye.
There's the high screen. You want the drive, and here comes the kick out.
Good coverage by the Cardinals, and they find Barker, fakes a 3, and now dumped down low, intended for Cooper, overshot him and out of bounds.
Just some miscommunication again. Okafor's coming in, Bell just a little out of the reach. Cooper's tall, but he's not that tall. You just got to bring that pass down a little bit when you're going down low.
So Okafor will come back in, and he'll be on Davis.
I expect to see Okafor a little more aggressively now here on the defensive end. Look for a big turnover and a fast break opportunity.
Find Calhoun. Look at the length by Cooper to throttle him. Davis drives, baseline, kicks it out, 15-footer for Calhoun, no good. And Laudie Ogunleye the rebound yet again.
Cooper with that length, he was able to get his hands up in the air. Calhoun just had to adjust a little bit with the miss.
Looking for that back cut. And there's going to be a foul. And that's going to be on Jeremiah Davis for maybe bumping the cutter.
And Bradley's seen that they can expose them a bit when they attack the basket. Okafor is that type of player. He's aggressive. He can get to the basket. They're going to look for opportunities for him to run those baseline screens and open it up for him.
1-4 set for the Braves after the foul. They had Cooper momentarily set up and said skip it over to Laudie Ogunleye. Plenty of time.
Still working hard down low, Ogunleye.
And they really isolated him on that left wing. He was able to beat his defender, draw the contact, and get back to the line.
And he's got the hot hand right now. You know, they were trying to work it inside to Barker. It wasn't there. Barker draws his man up to the free throw line. That opens it up. And D'Lo going to the line again.
What a game for him in his Bradley debut. 16 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Got a pair of assists. There's still 9 minutes left to play. Takes the first.
Doing it from the line. It's anybody's game. They're in there. They're right there. You got a fresh Okafor. Playing well inside. Anybody's game.
Niall Smith back in, the 6'4 junior out of Brooklyn. Second of 2, up, in and out, and a good effort by Pittman to keep that alive, but it still finds the hands of the Cardinals, who lead by 3.
Ball State look for them to try and set Sellers up here. They're trying to get him going offensively.
Yeah, Sellers with just 4 points in this one, the reigning MAC freshman of the year.
Tyler working off those screens. Moses and House working hard down low.
Great job by the Braves to stay in front. Moses in the lane, spins a couple of times. What a nice move by Moses.
The big man with a big move down low, able to get the 2.
There's a skip corner. Okafor drives in, falls, and throws it away. Numbers for Sellers. Back to Sellers from Tyler. Counted and 1.
Very tough possession that time. Okafor just lost control a little bit, lost the ball. Ball State capitalizes. And Sellers, we haven't called his name much, but now big basket gets to the line.
And the Cardinals now open up their biggest lead of the night. 7-point advantage over Bradley and Sellers. Again, an excellent free throw shooter. Missed one earlier on the front end, doesn't miss this time. And it's an 8-point lead for Ball State.
Big offensive possession here for Bradley. You're down 8, you don't want it to get to double figures. Got to work something here offensively. Thomas comes in, maybe looks something low and a kick out.
Okafor will walk it up. And a timeout by the Braves, and it's the first called timeout of the second half, so we will take it with them. 8:20 remaining here in this one. Bradley needs some answers. They're down 8 here in the second half. Brian Vito and Chris Griffin back with you. Bradley trailing by 8, but how about the play of Ladier Ogunleye for Bradley?
He's done it at both ends of the court. Dwayne Ladier Ogunleye has been an absolute star here tonight for Bradley. He's been able to drive, he's able to get it to the basket. Look for a lot of the offense now to run through him if Bradley's going to get right back in this game.
Yeah, they need a big response, Chris, out of the timeout. It was 39-37, down 2. It kept going nip and tuck, 1 or 2 points, swaying both ways. But in the last couple of minutes, Ball State's opened up. They got a couple of turnovers, turned those into points, and that's where we are, down 8. So you got to think, like you said, coming out of the timeout, their offense is going to run through D'Lo.
And with a young team, halftime adjustments are key, and you're going to learn more about halftime adjustments. And at this point, Ball State's just adjusted a little bit better than Bradley has. But again, look for the offense to go through number 23. I see him attacking the basket more, trying to take on Moses. Look for those kickouts. Got to hit the 3.
So Okafor receives the inbounds pass. Bradley operating pretty high on the high post. They have Cooper setting screens at the elbow. Pittman's double teamed, had it knocked away. Coach Whitford screaming for a travel, doesn't get it, but Bradley now with 6 to shoot. Here comes the high screen and roll.
D'Lo to the basket, we've seen it before.
He's gonna have to launch, he does, and it does graze the rim, but the rebound goes to the Cardinals.
Just tough defensively there. Ball State, again with the momentum, they could go up double digits.
And Bradley really needs a stop on this trip. Still plenty of time, just under 8 to play. Good look by Tyler, but House is there to potentially clean it up. Blocked away by Cooper.
The big man.
Okafor runs it down. 3-on-2 for Bradley. Okafor is fouled on his way up.
Just what you want to see. The young man, the big man with the block, throwing it down, and Okafor, it's what he does best. Okafor wants to push. He's going to grab that ball, push it up court. He gets the foul. Need these 2 free throws here.
To see if Okafor and make them. I believe there's a timeout on the floor. There is. Just a little bit delayed, and we'll take it with them once again. 7:29 remaining. Ball State by 8. 45-37, Ball State, an 8-point lead over Bradley with 7:29 remaining. Chris Griffin and Brian Vito here. And Chris, we talked a lot about Laudie Ogunleye, but a monster block down low by Cooper, and good transition offense by the Braves and Okafor to get to the line, and a chance for the Braves to cut into this deficit.
And maybe that's the spark they need. You get that spark, you're able to get a good play defensively, you're able to push. You knock down a couple free throws, you get right back within 6. It's under 10. It's under 8, actually. And they've got that spark, and now they can show that aggression on defense, keep pushing the ball, and at some point, they're going to be looking for that open 3 again. And this time, maybe knock it down.
Yeah, and again, we've talked all game that they've had the look, so that's a very encouraging sign, is that they've recognized when the shooters have been open. They've found them. At opening night, sometimes shots don't drop, and maybe that's the case here tonight, but still plenty of time to turn the tide, and 1 or 2 of those build a little bit of confidence, eats in that deficit, and get you right back in within striking distance.
And 2 perimeter players, Suggs and Von Bray, in the lineup right now, so expect to see some of those perimeter shots. They're looking for the 3. If they can get these 2 free throws, you can cut it right back in half. Well, you get those 3s.
That's
you
hard.
can get right
the math
back in
I can't do. I can't split 7
It
and
is
a half
tough
if
math,
they do it.
isn't it?
Okafor, again, the freshman. And he misses a pair at the line, and it's chased down by the Cardinals.
Yeah, you want to hit those free throws there coming out of the timeout. Got to be aggressive defensively still and try and push.
No handoff to Tyler, and it's stolen away. He makes up for the missed free throws behind the back dribble. No numbers, and he pulls it out. Von Bray's 3 is just a little bit short. But again, a pretty good possession by the Braves. Sometimes the best 3-point shots are in transition. Okafor with the steal, finds his man with a good look. Looked good from our angle, just left a little bit short.
Quickest hands I've seen, Okafor. He can quickly get that defensive. He can steal the ball. He can push it up court. Just got to knock down the shot.
Smith misses. Rebound tapped by Calhoun. He couldn't quite save it in bounds. And it'll go back to Bradley as Jeremiah Davis checks back in for the Cardinals.
You talk about Franco House being a tight end recruit. Bo Calhoun could have probably been a tight end. He's a big boy.
Great size underneath, don't they?
Man, they are just so big down low.
Okafor. Devon Bray will try again. That one a little too long. And run down by Barker. Suggs, Okafor from 14. Yes.
There you go. You're looking for the three. You could draw in a little bit, hit it from about 14. Von Bray, he's getting the looks. Just got to knock him down. He's got to keep firing away.
And you know when during those timeouts, Coach Wardle told him to shoot the ball, and there was no hesitation. Even though they didn't get it go in, both great looks, looked online, just a little bit off the mark.
You can see they're trying to slow it down. They're looking to Sellers, trying to work inside.
Rebound being battled for. Moses has it, can't finish, and a foul, and I believe that's going to be on Sellers. Yep. And that's team foul number 8, and that will send Suggs to the line, and Bradley has a chance to get within 4.
And look at Suggs fighting for the rebound, getting in there, banging with those big bodies. He's able to get the rebound, and now he's going to the line.
Another freshman, Suggs, shocker there, 6'5", out of Washington, Missouri.
This lefty's just got such a nice stroke. He's got such a nice shot.
A lot of length. Played at Vermont Academy last year. Need this front end, they got it. 10 points in the exhibition opener against Edgewood at 8 points and 3 boards against St. Joseph's College. And he misses, but Okafor there to get another chance for Bradley, down 5. They trailed by as many as 8.
5'11", getting the rebound, Okafor. How about that?
Laudie Ogunlie, he's got some room, kicks it out. Barker, short baseline, Dune, yes!
And Barker can stretch those bigs. House, Moses, Calhoun, they don't want to play on the perimeter like that. Barker can draw them out. The Bradley fans are on their feet.
Crowd on their feet. House nearly walked. They get it into Davis, who had it blocked out of bounds. Coach Whitford wanted goaltending, didn't get it, and that was last touch by the Cardinals, so the Braves will have it with potentially a chance to tie.
Great help defense that time from Von Bray. The Bradley fans on their feet. It's only a 3-point game, and these youngsters stepping it up.
And that's so good to see, Chris. It's a young team, goes down by 8. They didn't see a lot go into the basket, and the ability just to scratch and claw their way back in. They got a couple of steals. They're able to get to the line, had a couple of good offensive looks, and you've got to really like what you've seen scrappy-wise from this young bunch.
And Luke Von Bray, you know, he loves to shoot the outside shot. They're just not going from 3 right now. But what does he do? He steps it up on the defensive end. You got to play both sides, offense and defense. He makes a huge defensive play there. And don't be surprised if they run a play for him and try and look for that 3, and he knocks it down and ties it up.
Again, both of his last couple looks have been right on line. Just haven't been able to go. How about Joel Okafor? Out of timeout, misses a pair of free throws. What does he do next trip? Gets a steal, and then later on a missed free throw, gets an offensive rebound. Bradley gets another chance, gets a bucket.
Got to be aggressive here. Ball stayed on their heels a little bit coming out of that timeout.
Okafor, hands to Suggs. Nice seam pass to Barker, who lays it in, and it's a 1-point game.
What a play out of the timeout, and look at the Bradley bench. They're going crazy.
The pressure provided again by the Braves. Bounce pass down low, blocked again by Von Bray.
Von Bray, he's making the crowd erupt here. Carver, they could take the lead.
Okafor gets to the high ball screen. Around it he goes. Finds Von Bray, fakes the 3, kips it out. Okafor. And Braves will wisely reset.
Gonna try and attack the basket again.
Laudie Ogunlie kicks it out. Von Bray's 3 is gonna be well short. Got another look, couldn't knock it down, but Bradley down 1. Here's Jeremiah Davis the other way. Dribbled off the foot of Calhoun, players on the floor. Von Bray has it, calls for time. And they're gonna give it a jump ball. Probably the right call, but that will stay with Ball State with 20 on the shot clock.
Who says the Europeans can't play aggressive basketball?
Yeah.
Luke Von Bray, scrappy, getting on the ground. The sense of mind to try and call a timeout there. They got the tie-up, but now the possession arrow will go the other way. That could play in later in the game. It's a 1-point game. Bradley has that look in their eye in the defensive end.
And you gotta love what you've seen from Von Bray. In so many sports, when one area of the game isn't going well, sometimes players tend to fold. Not the case for Bradley here tonight. They've missed some open looks that they are typically known for maybe making in the future, but they've done it on the defensive end to claw their way back into this one, and now they've gone zone.
Bradley going to the zone. They're trying to close off those lanes. Look for the outside shot, though, from Ball State.
What a shot by Franco House in traffic to quiet down the Bradley crowd.
I think Bradley will take that, though. Tough shot there. You allow those opportunities. Still, anything can happen on the offensive end.
I got a double screen set up for Ladia Ogunleye. And now up top here's Suggs. Drives right side. Has Von Bray. He can tie it. He does!
Take the lid off the basket, Von Bray. And look at the fans. They recognize how good he is from the perimeter, and they are fired up, tied up.
More pressure being provided by the Braves. Under 4 to go, 47 apiece.
Again, the zone, they're allowing the outside shots. Smith has not been aggressive all game long.
Thrown into the hands of Okafor. He'll run with it. Okafor. Barker fakes a 3. And now Bradley will reset. What a difference Okafor has made in the lineup.
Okafor's picked up the tempo. He's got a little more quickness, gets inside.
Kicks out Von Bray again. Yes!
Stepping it up on the defensive end. It picks him up offensively. And we'll just let the crowd take it from here.
50-47. Bradley on a 13-2 run, and they lead it 50-47, 2:54 to go. And you can't say enough about Von Bray and what he's done and the confidence he's shown. And I thought it was so telling. We talked about at the time, Chris, when he didn't pull the trigger on that shot earlier in their half. And Coach Brian Wardle and company were furious that he didn't take the shot, because that, even though he wasn't knocking him down, they have all the confidence in the world in him. Over the last couple of minutes, he's proved them why.
If you're 0 for 6, it doesn't matter. If you're 0 for 10, it doesn't matter. This is what you're here to do. We're going to get those open looks. We know you can fill it up. The stroke is going to come. And look at that, 2 consecutive threes for Luc Von Bray. But again, it's what he did on the defensive end, which I'm really impressed about. He didn't get down. He got that look in his eye. 2 big blocks. He gets down there, scraps for it, tries to tie it up. And Bradley is right. It's college basketball. You got to love it.
And they've caused chaos on the defensive end by switching things up, putting a little bit more pressure, and also done a really good job getting their hands in the passing lanes. And that's the reason, along with a couple of big shots, to have a 3-point lead. We'll take another timeout. 2:54 remaining. Bradley by 3. Ryan Vito and Chris Griffin with you. Chris, we've talked a lot about the defense and the recent 3-point shooting, but there's another category that the Braves are faring well in as well.
Rebounding. We were talking about rebounding and how Ball State loved to rebound. Bradley right now out-rebounding them. 38-34, 11 offensive rebounds to Ball State's 9.
And that was an area that we thought Ball State would have the upper hand in. Look at the size down low, but the Braves have just done a really good job. There's a 3 to tie it by Tyler. Can't get it to go. And a foul is going to be on Barker, and that will send Moses to the line for the double bonus. Both players battling down low. Moses apparently had the better position, and he'll go to the line. Get another look.
And I thought we would see a little more 3-point shooting from Ball State. They've only taken 8 up to this point. And that's really the perimeter defense that Bradley's playing. They're stretching them out. They've got some really quick guys on the perimeter, not allowing the threes, and it's kind of taken, again, Ball State out of their comfort zone. They're trying to get it in now and work it to their down-low players.
And Sean Sellers, we talked a lot about him and his three-point prowess. He's attempted just one, and you got to give credit, like you said, to Bradley. They've just recognized him. They've closed out under control. They haven't allowed to drive past, and they've gotten a hand in his face all night.
And Sellers has the height, but they've put quicker guys on him to stay in his hip pocket and work around those screens.
And Moses misses a pair, and Bradley can build on a three-point lead now. Laudie Ogunleye, who kept Bradley close, is fouled. And he'll have one in the bonus here, to chance to make it a two-possession game. Still plenty of time, though, 2:27 remaining as Bo Calhoun is set to check back in. And Chris, we talked most recently about the play of Okafor and Von Bray, but if it wasn't for Laudie Ogunleye, the Braves wouldn't even have been in a position to come back in this one.
And he's been fantastic in the one-on-one game. It's become a mismatch. He can take you off the dribble. Once he gets that high screen, he's going right to the basket. He can attack, he can kick it out, and he's knocking his free throws down.
Misses the front end, and the Braves will retreat on defense, and they'll go back to a man-to-man off the miss. Here's Niall Smith, gives to Tyler, and they don't mind him being 35 feet away.
Great ball defense right there by D'Lo, not allowing Sellers to get the ball.
Smith ties it with a three. Big shot by Niall Smith, and it's 50 apiece.
He's another one that's been quiet. Niall Smith, thought we'd see a little more drive, dribble penetration from him, but he hits a huge shot, tied up again.
Okafor to Von Bray, and a foul. They're going to call almost a bear hug, I believe, on Franco House. And that's the 10th team foul on the Cardinals, so Barker will have a pair of free throws, and free throws going to be proving crucial down the stretch.
Yeah, bear hugs are not allowed down low.
Rarely do you see a referee actually signal for the bear hug. I don't know if that's the proper mechanics, but he showed us what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Barker's from Australia. Would it be a koala bear hug? Oh, that's terrible.
As Barker makes the first, second of two, no good, and a 1-point lead for the Braves. 1:48 to go. Here's Smith, who just made a huge three. And Barker really clearing House out, doesn't want him on that low block. They're looking for Sellers. They switch on the screen. 15 on the shot clock, and posting up his House on the high post. Instead, they give it up to Calhoun, who gives to Tyler.
Surprised that Calhoun was on the perimeter. Now he gets down low.
There it is. He's got a good look. Can't finish, and Bradley the rebound. Who else? It's Okafor, who's been in the mix of those trees.
Wanted to push, but they told him to pull it back, set the offense up.
Okafor gives to Suggs, and Brian Wardle's going to call a timeout, and probably a good one here. Bradley didn't have much going on that offensive possession, but they called it early enough that they still have time to operate with 18 on the shot clock.
Absolutely. It's a great timeout right there. You're going to set up your offensive set. You're up by one, so you're playing with the lead. Again, a teaching and learning experience. You want to go out and win the game, but it's these crucial moments under 2 minutes. And when I went to practice, they work on this. They work on the 2 minutes, the 2-minute drill basically at the end of the game, and working on how do we adjust the last 2 minutes of the game. So let's see how it pays off here.
Bradley, they're really learning on the job in this first game. They've really seen it all. They've seen themselves struggle shooting the basketball, but they've seen themselves stay in it on the defensive end. They've gotten some good rebounds, some clutch shots down the stretch, and now a 1-point game against a team that's a little bit more experienced than they are. So it's going to be a fun finish here in the final 72 seconds. The Braves with the ball, and you wouldn't be surprised to see it in the hands of Laudie Ogunleye.
Laudie Ogunleye has been the man.
Instead, they give it to Okafor. And now here's Suggs.
They're still looking D-low. He's working hard down
Von
low.
Bray's three, not this time. And Suggs keeps it alive, and he's fouled.
Suggs with another big rebound. He did it at one end. Now he does it at the other. That's just effort. At this point, it's just effort. It's just going out there, and you're seeing growth. One game, and you're seeing the growth in this young Bradley Braves team.
Suggs 1 of 2 from the stripe. First one is good.
Now, Ball State on offense, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and bring Calhoun down low again. They've got some mismatches down low between either House or Calhoun, depending on if they're down by 2 or 3.
Suggs makes a pair. 3-point lead for the Braves.
Huge free throws from the freshman.
Matches their largest lead of the second half as the crowd is on their feet under a minute to play. Bradley in a zone.
They're closing off that inside. They're challenging them to take the three.
Sellers tries to tie it. Not this time. Okafor the rebound, and he pushed off from behind. That is a good call. At least from my vantage point, I saw the push.
Crowd doesn't like it, but you know, Okafor, he's just outmatched
Yep.
in that rebounding matchup with Bo Calhoun. Just a slight push off. You know, he's being aggressive. He's trying to make a play. But Calhoun going to the line. These are two huge free throws. You saw Suggs at one end. Now let's see if Calhoun can capitalize at the other.
He's 1 of 1 from there tonight, trying to get it to a 1-point game. Either way, Ball State will not have to foul with nearly a 10-second differential, or 14 seconds, excuse me, I'm looking at the old shot clock to game clock.
Want to see who gets the ball for Bradley coming out on their offensive possession. I think you might want it in D'Lo's hands. You don't know. Okafor's been running the point as well.
Missed the back end, and Barker a great box out to get the rebound. Again, about a 14-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining, 35 seconds left to go. Bradley by 2.
Time to look for the open shot. You can slow it down. You can milk that clock a bit, and then you try and get that shot, maybe even draw a foul.
Suggs now to 10. Here's Ladier Ogunleye with 5 to shoot. Now 4. Drives up. No, but he will get to the line.
It's been a complete mismatch. He's been able to take him off the drive all game long. Davis was actually the best defender against him in that one-on-one game, but Davis on the bench. Tyler out there, he just can't keep up with D'Lo. D'Lo's got the speed, and he's got that great first step. When he's got that great first step and he's got you beat, he'll attack it. It would have been a huge shot if he knocked it down, but now 2 huge free throws.
He's so good at using his body to shield himself from his defender, and he welcomes that contact, and that's hard to teach at such a young age, a freshman, and someone that will make his 14th and 15th trips to the line in his collegiate debut.
And you heard a lot about the fans, the media, anybody talking about the physicality of Bradley. How would these young newcomers be able to handle the physicality? They've proven that they will go in there. Callum Barker, Luke Von Bray, Okafor, D'Lo, you know, even Ronnie Suggs, you can see in there as well. They've all been very aggressive, and they're not shying away from the physicality.
Ladier Ogunleye from the line again, 8 of 13. Can make it a 2-possession game with a pair of makes. He's halfway there. (54-51), Bradley by 3 to make it a 2-possession game. It's up and short. And Ball State still with life. They have 1 timeout remaining. Let's see if they use it.
They don't.
Davis drives coast to coast, left hand scores, makes it a 1-point game. Coach Whitford wisely calls a timeout to give his defense a chance to set up. It's not a bad take because there's still plenty of time. Even if you foul immediately and Bradley makes a pair, you still have a time to shoot the 3. So a 1-point game for the Braves, and Bradley will try to send out their best foul shooters here, try to get that ball inbounds, as they'll have to go the length of the court, and they do have 1 timeout just in case they get in trouble.
I'm glad you pointed that out because you might have been confused a little bit at home. They're down by 3. Why are they pushing it up? There's still plenty of time. You get the 2. Now you foul. You kind of look for who you want to send to the line as far as these young guys are concerned. Braves are just going to have to knock the free throws down, and then you go from there.
They've already shot 30 this game, 19 of 30, just done. That's at 63%. And again, you got to be happy with the fact that they've welcomed the contact all night. Ladier Ogunleye has shot half of those attempts, so we'll see what they do. They shot 70% as a team last year, and it's almost entirely new personnel. But again, down the stretch for the Braves, got to convert. Up a point, 6.6 remaining, and some good length for Ball State. And let's see who they put on the inbound man. And it's not going to be Moses. He's on the bench. So you have House and Calhoun as the big guys. If they play someone on the ball, and it's going to be the big guy Calhoun. And of course, Okafor can run the baseline because it was after a made basket.
probably don't want to see Ogunleye on the free throw line if you're Ball State.
Von Bray gets it in, and he does to Suggs. 3 seconds, and he's finally fouled. Bradley got in trouble, but they were able to get out of it, and they shave off 4.4 seconds. And now Suggs with a chance to make a couple of free throws to make it a 3-point game.
Unbelievable possession right there. Ball State got what they wanted. They were aggressive. They got the loose ball. Suggs just ended up with it. Suggs has ended up with a couple loose balls. He's been great.
It's one of those guys that appears to have, I know it's one game, but a nose for the ball, is always right around it.
Always in the right place.
First one is up, and it's no good. And you're at the point now where you maybe don't want to ask him to miss it, but it's not the end of the world because it's going to be a 3-point attempt regardless. So down by 1 or 2 is probably not going to end up mattering. You'd rather have him not have a chance to take it out of bounds. And Bradley's going to call a timeout.
Good timeout. Again, another teaching experience, but hey, it's money time right now. It's, you know, you're up by 1. You've got possession. You knock this free throw down. Anything can happen.
You can see what Ball State wants to draw up, and again, it's going to be an entirely different scenario whether he makes or misses the free throw. So I'm sure they'll draw something up, maybe for both cases. If they make, they'll have a play set up and maybe have a quick outlet on some sort of miss to try to get a half-court shot to maybe win it.
Yeah, and you wonder what you want them to shoot, basically. Do you want them to be able to get some sort of set and have to throw the ball in and then take that quick shot, or do you want them to get the rebound and kind of have that freak-out moment where they're trying to outlet and do what you're talking about? Either way, it looks like it's going to be a long-range type shot in order to try and win the game.
It's going to be a 3-point shot, yep. But it's a tough scenario for Coach Brian Wardle. You say, all right, go ahead and miss these free throws, but then you have in your head, if you don't hit the rim, you get it out of bounds. So all sorts of things can play out here, but 2.2 seconds remaining. And either way, it's looking good for Bradley right now, but it's been a very fun game to be a part of. And in this first game under Coach Brian Wardle and all this new personnel on the floor, just showing the ability to come back from an 8-point deficit, which I don't want to say seemed insurmountable, but the way how low scoring of a game it was, it seemed like a pretty big deficit. Bradley able to claw back. Let's see if they can finish off the Cardinals in this season opener. Second of 2 up, second of 2 no good, and I think that works out for Bradley. House to win it, no good, and Bradley holds on. And Brian Wardle and company win their first game here on the Hilltop by the final of 54-53. An outstanding comeback by this young group, down 45-37, Chris. They came back on the defensive end. They never quit even when shots weren't dropping, and that defense and that tenacity on that end of the floor led into some offensive opportunities, and shots finally started to drop.
Showing some great resolve there. You know, coming out of the half, they were a little slow. They were a little slow in making the adjustments. The coaching staff said, pull it together, keep your focus. We're not out of it yet, and you get right back in it. And the job they did on the defensive end was just fantastic.
And now we're going to be joined by the head coach of the Braves, Brian Wardle. And Coach, thanks for taking the time. Congratulations on win number 1.
What a win. So proud of these young guys. I had 5 freshmen out there, 8 minutes to go. We're down 7 or 8. And they just came back and just made effort plays and really played composed. And Luke Van Bree made some big shots. But D'Lo was huge for us, Dwayne, all game. Just unbelievable for our first game to come back like that at home and pick up a 1-point win. It was a slow game. It was a low possession game. The whistle was blowing a lot. It was hard to find rhythm, a lot of foul trouble again, but just so proud and how resilient our guys were in overcoming adversity.
Chris and I talked a lot about, you mentioned that 7-8 point deficit in the second half, how shots weren't necessarily dropping at the time, but talk about the defensive tenacity where even though they weren't scoring on the offensive end, they didn't let that carry to that end of the floor. They made some big stops, and that translated to some good opportunities on the other end.
You know, we just talked in the huddle, believe we can win this game. We just got to string together 3 or 4 stops in a row, and we were struggling because we were just fouling, and we were giving them some offensive rebounds. Their big men gave us a little trouble. We made a lot of mistakes. I mean, we looked like our age a little bit out there, but I'm so proud of how we came back and found a way to win the game. It was an unbelievable win. The crowd was tremendous. It's just a win I'll always remember in my career, being the first one at Bradley, and the way we did it. I'm very, very proud of our group.
Last question, I'll let you go, Coach. Luke Von Bray, he had some shots earlier that were great looks. They weren't dropping for some reason. How about his confidence? Just keep shooting, and he knocked a couple of big shots. Probably the two biggest shots of the game.
Well, I told him if you don't shoot, you're coming out the rest of the game. So, coach I guess I threatened him. I guess that's what you say as a coach.
We did see that he didn't shoot one towards the top. And you guys didn't look overly thrilled that the attempt didn't happen because he was open. And then every time down he was open, he was letting it fly.
And his teammates were mad at him, too. That's what he can do for us. He's a matchup problem. He can shoot the three. And we needed that at the time. So just so proud of him. We believe in him. You know, we had some guys that didn't play like they can play. We had some guys with off nights. That happens this early in the year on any team, or if you're a freshman or senior, you can have some off nights. But so proud of our freshmen and how we came back and won.
And congratulations, Coach, on the win. A great result from your squad. Crowd was into it. Just an awesome first game here.
It was great. The students were tremendous. The band cheerleading and the fans for coming out was tremendous. Thanks, you very much, guys.
Coach Brian Wardle in his first game here at the Hilltop, the 14th coach in Bradley history. The Braves get a win 54-53. Brian and Chris back to wrap it up. And Chris, Coach Wardle pretty much said it all.
Just the way they drew it up. Just the way they drew it up.
Well, it was a pleasure working with you, partner. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
Exciting game for Bradley. What an opener, and I look forward to it as well, buddy.
So for my partner, Chris Griffin, and everyone on the Chef Tech crew, the production crew, I'm Brian Vito. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. 54-53, Bradley over Ball State. I'll see you when I see you.